Welcome back, comrades. So as we know that when we started Genshin Impact, Paimon told us that the first nation we will be visiting is the land of freedom, Mondstadt. She even says that there is a reason, about which she never talks about again. And although I am not an expert, the best reason will be because we were already in Mondstadt to begin with, so might as well explore it first. But what if the unknown god threw us in Liyue, let's say here, then how will the story unfold? So today we'll discuss about what would have happened if Traveler explored Liyue first instead of Mondstadt. Well, for avoiding a lot of bugs in the story, let's say we start here and once again fish out this white, food-swallowing black hole that also steals away our ability to speak. We again explain to her about the whole story and start our journey through Liyue. We first set our destination to Wanshu, and there we once again touch the statue of 7 for the first time and get our very first element, which is this time Geo instead of Anemo, and Paimon gets surprised once again about how we can control the elements without a vision. After that we travel to the city of Liyue, but since there is a lot of time before the Rite of Dissension takes place, where we were hoping to meet the god of contract Morix, we decide to explore the city and nearby region before the day finally arrives. Meanwhile in Mondstadt the flying lizard is going nuts. Wait, I just forgot to mention a very important detail. So basically, since we didn't start in Mondstadt, we never meet Amber and never got our wind glider, so we haven't unlocked the ability to fly yet. Moving back to the main topic, as I said, the lizard is going nuts. And this time either Albedo or other knights of Favonius are dealing with him. With the help of Venti they were able to drive him away from the city, but this time the damage might be significant. The lyre got stolen by Fatui again, which the knights were able to retreat, and once again Dialek, Jean and Venti visit the Storm Terror lair. But since we are not there this time, things get a bit ugly, and we will talk about that later in the video. For now let's skip a few days or weeks and finally the Rite of Dissension arrives. Zhongli once again throws his lifeless body on the ground and we are under the radar. But this time there is an issue. Child got his info on us through Signora, as far as I can remember, so in this timeline we are complete strangers. But once again, to avoid a lot of bugs, let's just say he got curious with our ability to control elements without vision and decided to help us out. After that the story goes on just the same, or this is what you might be thinking. Let me remind you once again, my friend, we haven't visited Mondstadt yet, so the only element we currently possess is the Geo element, which means we have 1/7 of our power instead of 2/7 as in the original story. So this version of us is a bit weaker than the original version. So when we arrive in the Golden House and encounter Child, we were able to hold our own against the Phase 1 and Phase 2, but as for the Foul Legacy, we got our cheeks clapped. For reference, do you remember what happened when we encountered Signora during Mondstadt, when we had only one element? Yes, one of her subordinate one-shot us like a bug. Well, this time Chide wins and confirmed that we actually don't have the Gnosis. And Gen calls Kyogre, Ojal, the ancient god, and once again the Adepti give us drugs and we get ultra strong and we win again with power of friendship. After the battle we meet two Harbingers and Zhongli, just like the original and the Liyue. Story ends as usual, but this time we don't have the achievement of defeating a Fatui Harbinger, and instead of Inazuma, Zhongli suggests us to go to Mondstadt as it is the nation of his dear friend, and also we are too weak to go to Inazuma yet. So we travel to Mondstadt and as arrive at the statue of 7 in front of the Dawn Winery, we acquire our second element, and for my comfort, Dialek just happened to be passing by and sees us using 2 elements without vision and starts questioning us. Before that, let's go to some weeks ago. So as Dialek, Jean and Venti fail to stop Dvalin, there are 3 possible ways the story can go. First is that the evil sibling gets control of the dragon and takes him to Abyss. Second is that either Alice or Albedo start to interfere and kill the lizard. Since both of these outcomes are rather depressing, I will go for the third option. And that is that Venti seals the dragon with his power in the lair, and they have been waiting for the right time to help him. Now coming back to the present, Dialek sees our weird powers, and given the big brain Batman he is, he also gives us the crystal, and once again we purify it. He connects the dots and drags us to the already depressed Venti, who also lost his Gnosis and has been drunk ever since. After a lot of planning, Dialek, Jean, Venti, Paimon and us visit Dvalin and defeat him. This time pretty easily, because let me remind you again, we originally only had 1 element, but now we got 2. So once again we return to Mondstadt and get our title, the Honorary Knight of the Knights of Favonius. Rest of the story goes on as usual and we arrive in Fontaine.
My dear people, Rich and poor, those with cup in hand and those with nothing at all. Raise your glasses in celebration! If you don't have one, then just raise your hand in lieu.
Well, this was my first time creating a video like this one. It took a lot of effort, so make sure to drop a like and let me know if you want similar videos in future. Thanks for watching. Peace.